The United Nations Development Program Rwanda resident representative has commended the Central African country for the tireless effort put in the protection and promotion of the rights of persons with disabilities. Speaking at the celebration of the International Day of People with Disabilities, the UN representative said that Rwanda is among the countries which have reached the greatest milestone in equality of rights, dignity, opportunities and well-being for everyone.
Honorable Minister, it is indeed a great pleasure for me to be here with you today, representing both the UN Resident Coordinator and speaking on my own behalf as resident representative of UNDP. I should also say that today's the day I was born. Today is actually my birthday, and I'm very happy to be celebrating with all of you here in Nyamagabe. Let me start by congratulating you, Honorable Minister, and your team in the Ministry and in the National Council for Persons with Disabilities for organizing this event today. I'm also sincerely grateful to everyone who's present here with us. I am happy that you've taken the time to join us in this celebration, and I'm very thankful for the work that so many of your organizations are doing to promote and advance the rights of people with disabilities and to offer them a better quality of life. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here today because we all believe in equality of rights, equality of dignity, equality of opportunities, and equality of the well-being of everyone. And we all believe that people with disabilities are people. As the singer just said, they're human beings like the rest of us, and they need to be treated with the same respect and the same dignity as any other human being. Since 1992, governments around the world have been celebrating the International Day of Persons with Disabilities on the 3rd of December every year. This year, the international theme is promoting the participation of persons with disabilities and their leadership, taking action on the 2030 Development Agenda. But I also like the theme which I heard here this morning, which is a future without barriers. I actually think it's a simpler theme and a nicer one. If we can all think of that future when persons with disabilities have no barriers that prevent them from being active members of their societies. This day calls on all of us to join hands and to join efforts to work to create a better society, a more inclusive society, a society in which every person, man, woman, boy, girl, whichever color, whichever religion, whether they have a disability or not, but a society in which everyone will be included. And today we ask ourselves the question, just how much progress have we made in promoting the rights and the well-being of persons with disabilities in our societies, not just here in Rwanda, but across the world? How far have we come in addressing discrimination and stigma? How far have we come in ensuring that persons with disabilities can participate fully in the political, social, economic, and cultural life of their societies? And how much progress have we made in ensuring that they can access services that other persons are able to access and enjoy? So today we take a moment to recognize that persons with disabilities are not just recipients of services. They contribute. They contribute to their families, their communities, and their country's development. Today we recognize that disability is not inability, as Alexander just said in his song. Disability is not inability. Persons with disabilities have tremendous potential and skills and talents. What they need very often is a little support from the rest of society. So today is a day when we look back to see how far we have come and to see the areas in which we have not made adequate progress. But it's also a day when we look forward, when we look to the future that we want, a future without barriers, a future that is more inclusive, a future that is more empowering, a future in which persons with disabilities have equal rights and opportunities. And it's not just a dream, it's not just a future that we want to imagine, it's a future that we have to be prepared to work to create. We have made good progress in many areas, and I mentioned this, Honourable Minister, at the last occasion. We know that we have some more work to do, and the SDG agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals agenda, it asks us to work hard to create a better future, a better society with greater prosperity, with greater sustainability, and so on. But there's one thing which the SDG agenda calls on us to ensure. It says, when we work to create that better future, let us ensure that we leave no one behind. And so leaving no one behind is a core message for us in the United Nations. It's a core part of our UN Disability Inclusion Strategy, and it's a core part of our work here in Rwanda. And I'm very pleased to see that so many UN agencies, from my own agency, UNDP, UNICEF, I see UNHCR, UNFPA, UN Women, many agencies are working with many of the organizations here to try and create better opportunities for people with disability and to create space for people with disability to have a voice in society and to use their talents. And so the UN, we're fully committed to continue that partnership with the Ministry of Local Government, with the NCPD, with the various associations, the Rwanda Union of the Blind, the Rwanda Union of the Deaf, OIPA, the Association for People with Albinism. We work with the Association of People, of Little People. We have programs with many of these different associations, and we will continue that partnership. One of the main things we're aiming to do, Honourable Minister, and ladies and gentlemen, is to create a coalition of partners, a platform of partners coming together to work in a much more coordinated manner under the leadership of the government and NCPD, but bringing this coalition of partners together to see if we can identify those areas where the gaps still exist and pool all of our resources, pool all of our energies to see if we can really support you in making real progress in those areas. So we're aiming for a disability inclusive world. And we know that it's not just the responsibility of government or of development partners or of civil society organizations. An inclusive world is everyone's responsibility. We should all work together to remove the barriers that face persons with disabilities. A day like today is a good time for us to think and to contemplate on what we can do as individuals as well as organizations to bring us all a step closer to a future without barriers. As I conclude, Honourable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate our gratitude to the Ministry of Local Government and NCPD for organizing this wonderful event today. I'm just so happy to see the growing recognition and appreciation of the rights of people with disability in society. I admire the fact that Rwanda is leading Africa in this area, and I want to pledge the full support of the entire UN system to continue partnering with you in this journey. Happy celebrations. Murakoze cyane. Thank you very much.